All right. It's late night and it's that time again.
We are full of a lot of food because we had a holiday just pass. A lot of cooking was done by the both of us, but we still got to give you that AEW goodness.
Oh yeah. And the AEW goodness on what show?
On this episode of Off the Top Rope.
Oh,
Hmm.
yeah.
Y'all know what we got to do first. Housekeeping, house cleaning. If you're not already, please follow us on Blue Sky and Twitter. If you look up TAGPW podcast, you'll be able to find us there. We do a lot of tweeting, and I probably shouldn't say the other word on the actual podcast. What they call Blue Sky tweets, which I'm not going to do that. But if you're not following us already, please do. There's a lot of really good stuff on there. We give our little impressions. We do opinions, stuff like that. Yeah, just make sure if you aren't already, please do that. And again, as always, if you're not on YouTube right now and you can't watch the video, we are currently on Spotify and Podbean. If you look up THEPW Off the Top Rope, you'll be able to find us there. I noticed that the Podbean episodes literally upload the second that we upload our episode to YouTube. So sometimes you'll be able to see like this episode on like a Sunday night or a Monday morning, depending on how lazy I am about editing the episode. But if you want to listen to us first there, you definitely can listen to us first there. If not, we are on Spotify. You can find us on YouTube. Profit will tell you more about the YouTube side of things.
All right. And guys, I see we got we got a lot more subscribers this month, so thank you. Thank you for subscribing. For those of you that haven't subscribed, come on, subscribe and tap that like button. Helps us out when you do that. And yeah, man, like whenever we upload and it uploads to YouTube, about 5-10 minutes later it'll be up on Podbean, and probably about within the hour it will be on Spotify. So you can pick whichever platform you want. We'll probably be on more platforms soon. But yeah, man, just check us out on YouTube, subscribe, hit the bell button, like. It'll get you our new content when it comes out. And yeah, let's get on with the show.
While we get into it, y'all know what we're about to talk about this week. This week and this season for AEW is tournament season. Not only do we have the AEW Continental Classic going on, which may or may not have a couple surprising results to people. We will be talking about that. We also have the women's tournament right now for a chance to be in the what was it? It was the AEW World Cup or whatever. I forget exactly what it's called. I probably should have looked it up before, but I forgot what the name of it.
That's the Women's World Cup.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah. The International Women's World Cup.
There we go. We have that going on right now too. We have the bracket for that fully. We will be getting to that a little bit later too. But first, we got to talk about the Continental Classic.
Yeah, man. The Continental Classic so far has been pretty damn good. Pretty damn good. A lot of good matches. Everybody's going in, man. Like the one thing I did notice though with these matches is that they just end. There's no build up to the ending. There's no anything. They just end. It's like, it's like somebody getting flash KO'd. They just like, boom, end.
No, bro, these are like G1 matches. If AEW is basically just this year for sure, AEW has just stolen the G1. That's literally all they did. Last year, there's like a little bit of difference, right? There was still like some kind of AEW in there, right? Because we had a couple people. This year, this is literally just AEW's G1. Straight up. Like, to the point where even like ripping ties and shit, bro. Like, it's just the G1.
Yeah. But damn, is it good?
Oh yeah. For those who don't know, all these matches are going to be competitive. There's not There is more than likely not going to be one match that's like ending in like 3 minutes. Like all these matches are going to be back and forth. They're all going to be competitive. They're all are going to have like their own different flair and flavor. We did talk a lot about like how the rules and regulations go in our episode for the Continental Classic. So if you want to rehash those in more detail, definitely go feel free to listen to that episode or watch that video. We talked a lot about what was going on. Even that video, we have a couple differences now.
Yeah. One of the interesting things is I made a mistake in the video, and with the Continental Classic rules, and I guess that mistake happened to become reality because that shit's happening now.
Which is wild, by the way, because there was no semifinal last year, right? There's been a semifinal in G1 for like the last few years. So when we were talking about it, we were like, oh yeah, there actually wasn't. So we kind of broke down who we thought was going to be in the finals. Now, completely different. Like our analysis now is like low key, kind of just like null and void, because we thought it was just going to be the same tournament as last year. Which, still, funny enough, on that site that I sent you, they still don't have the change on here, by the way.
Oh, man.
It's been like 5 days. The change isn't here. For really quick to explain the change for those who don't know. Initially, how it was before was the 2 top points earners were going to wrestle each other at World's End, and the winner was going to be the Continental Champion. This year, the top point winner in gold will wrestle the second place in blue, and the top in blue will wrestle second place in gold on World's End on the pay-per-view. The winner of those 2 matches will then wrestle each other in the finals, and that person will be the Continental Champion.
Yes.
So you called it.
I guess. It's a happy accident, I guess. I don't know.
I'm telling you. And I don't want to be that guy at all. But the fact that we talked about it, and we're like, oh yeah, no, there was no semifinal, and then all of a sudden, literally out of nowhere, to the point where it's not even on the website still, where they're like, oh yeah, by the way, we have semifinals. Like, what? No one else talked about this, by the way. No one.
No one.
And it's still not on the website. We're literally on allelitewrestling.com. We're literally looking at the tables for the leagues. You guys will see the tables as well. I'm probably just gonna put this image that we have here in there. And the fact that the rules still have not changed for the semifinals is insane.
Yeah, that is kind of crazy. You would think they would have updated that the second they started talking about it, but they didn't.
They didn't. They just didn't. They talked about it in passing, like, oh yeah, by the way, this is what we're doing, and then they just didn't talk about it again.
Yeah.
But that does change things. But that's not what we're here for right now. We're actually going to be talking about what happened in the Continental Classic, and we're just going to do that straight through. We're probably going to talk about either league first. We'll get our thoughts out there, get our opinions. Then we'll talk about the women's tournament. Then we'll go into normal storyline stuff on this episode.
Yeah. Let's see. Let's talk about the Gold League first.
I'm down with that.
The Gold League was definitive wins all around in the Gold League.
One more than the others.
Yeah. Let's see. Like one of the first ones was Brody King versus Darby Allin. Goddamn, man. Every time those two go in the ring, Brody King just murders Darby Allin, but this is like the first time he murdered him and got the win.
He threw him around everywhere. Darby came out. He was already beat up. He had literally just got into a car accident 3 days before that. 4 days before that, whenever Full Gear was. And I fully expected that this was going to be a normal Darby match. Darby's going to get beat up for X amount of time, maybe 10, 15 minutes, and then he was going to come back and do his coffin drop or whatever and then win the match. That did not happen.
Nope.
and that was the right call.
Yeah, like he was trying to do it, but Brody caught him. Like he tried to do the coffin drop. He got him in the what was it? He got him in the choke, the sleeper hold, and then stood up with him and pretty much hung him with that sleeper hold, and then did the Gonzo bomb, and then it was over. That was it. He just pinned him. It was it. There was no coming back, no nothing. It was just chokehold into the Gonzo bomb. Boom, done.
Which is it's interesting to me because I definitely thought Darby was gonna win the first match because it's Darby, right? But with this semifinal, this first loss doesn't, like last year. You lose one, you were kind of like rough, right? Because both leagues, the blue and gold, had people that were basically going in undefeated for a while.
Yep.
Now with the semifinals, it's still wide open. There's still 4 matches for Darby to go. But looking at his league, the only person he would have been able to beat was Juice. And if Juice is actually hurt, which we'll get into a little bit later,
yep,
depending on who they replace him with, that could also be like a loss for Darby. Because Darby just lost to Claudio. Darby isn't beating Will Ospreay. Darby isn't beating Ricochet. Darby already got his ass beat by Brody King after getting into a car accident. Probably not going to feel any better going to next week to whoever's going to wrestle next week. It's not looking good for Darby right now.
No, not at all. He because it's wait, yeah, it's not Claudio next week that he's going against because I know it's Claudio versus Brody King next week.
Yeah, that got like teased for us next week because we have our first 3-3 match. Winner of that will most likely be tied with maybe Ospreay, depending on who Ospreay wrestles next, which I forget who it was. I don't think did they announce it? They might not have.
I don't think they announced who Ospreay was wrestling next.
Here, I can look that up while we're going. I know they announced like a few of the matches early. Oh. No, they didn't announce it yet. But I guess we'll get more into it. But yeah, for sure Brody and Claudio, because we got that little tease at the end of the Dynamite, right? Where Claudio came out with the chair and he was about to beat Darby, but then Brody got up and just stood in his way. And Claudio was like, "You know what? You're right. I'm tripping. I should not be out here," and walked off.
He dropped a chair and just left. He's like, "Yeah, you don't want any of that."
Like, you know what, Brody? You're right. I should not be here. I don't even know what I was doing here. I'm gonna just leave.
It was like when Hangman came into the ring with Moxley, and Moxley was like, "Ooh, yeah, nah." It could have been any other motherfucker, but you decided to come in. Yeah, I'm out.
Yeah, I'm good. I am super good.
But yeah, like overall though, that match was pretty damn solid. Like, but the way it ended, it just ended. It was just there was no coming back. Darby got hit by the Gonzo bomb. That was it. It was over.
Well, he was also getting murdered for 10 minutes, so it makes sense that it just ended because he was already getting massacred.
Yeah. But that with a lot of the other matches, that kind of set a precedence, right? Like, because all the other matches ended the same way. It's just like, move got hit, boom, it was over. Completely ended.
That's that G1 influence, bro. I'm telling you, this C2 is just the G1 in disguise. I'm telling you that right now. As an avid watcher of G1s for what? God damn, almost a decade now. This is just literally now AEW's G1.
Yeah. There are a few matches that have already been called out for like December 11th, and things like that. We'll get to that after we go through all the current matches.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there's some there. Next Wednesday is gonna be a banger.
Oh, we gotta talk about that when we get to Blue League. We'll get to Blue
Yeah,
League.
it's in Blue League, of course. It is for sure in Blue League.
I guess
um,
I guess the next one we could talk about is probably the least surprising of the Gold League, which is Will Ospreay and Juice Robinson.
yeah. Again, that was another solid match. Like Juice was going in, man. He was going in on Osprey, but it was Osprey.
To,
Nothing Juice could do would like beat Punisher Osprey.
no, I mean Juice is no surprise though. Juice, if y'all don't know, Juice was also wrestling in New Japan. He was also doing G1s. Like Juice was like a top foreigner in New Japan for a little while.
Yes.
Like he was the United States champion.
Yep.
So it makes sense that he took Ospreay to the ringer, like to the point where Ospreay was like, he came out, he was all, even with the black gear on still, with the Punisher gear, he was still out there like laughing and jolly up until Juice clocked him and Ospreay was like, oh shit, I'm in a fight, hold on, and then went to work.
Hey, he helped him remember. He's like, hey, what are you doing? Osprey's like, oh yeah, I gotta get the business.
Yeah, there's not really too much to talk about like the match. Like this is probably the one that was the most, like everyone could have guessed this one, right? Like I don't think no one thought, even after what was gonna happen, even what was happening after with Kyle Fletcher, like Ospreay probably wasn't gonna lose to Juice.
Oh no. Like, yeah, he wasn't gonna lose to Juice. Not at all. But it was good showing by Juice. It was more of getting Juice at the time, getting Juice to have a good showing against somebody, showing that he's a credible threat, not just a joke.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what he did.
if y'all thought Juice was a joke, y'all should have never thought it.
No.
Juice is
No.
he's just funny.
Yeah, he's just funny, but he's no joke. He's always a threat.
Now the problem is after the match.
Yeah, so it sounded like after the match, like he hurt his I think it was like his ankle or something like that. And he was walking around not walking around, he was crutching around at WrestleCade in crutches. So pretty much had a little, I don't think they said that he had a cast on or anything, but he was going around in crutches. So we don't know if he's going to get replaced in the Continental Classic or what. So we'll just have to see.
If they're gonna go by how G1 does it, which I don't think they are, because G1 doesn't really need the TV time. What G1 normally does is if someone gets injured, their matches are just done by forfeit. So everyone who was gonna wrestle that person, like after the fact, just gets the 2 points from the G1. I don't know if the AEW is gonna do this for Juice. I mean, it would make sense, but I don't know. It's gonna be interesting because we didn't get to see this last year, so it'll be interesting to see what AEW does.
Yeah, we'll see. Or I don't think they should give them the full 3 points though. Like give them like 1 or 2 or something like that. But yeah, we'll see.
It's gonna be interesting. I'm guessing we'll find out probably on Dynamite.
Yeah.
Wednesday.
Yep. And then let's see. The last one for the Gold League was Claudio and Ricochet.
Low key.
Uh-huh.
I don't think this was an upset. I was surprised that Claudio won though. Even though I shouldn't have been, I was surprised.
I wasn't surprised. Not at all. Just because mainly because he was like, if this would have happened last year, he was like second place in his league.
Yeah, he would literally, that 20-minute draw with Danielson screwed him out of getting to the finals.
Yeah. So, if it was this year's rules, he would still be in, right?
Mm-hmm.
But no, I'm not surprised. It's like Claudio turns it up when it's tournament time. So he's going to just be like a big threat no matter where he goes. I could see him and Brody King going to a draw next week
I can
or
see.
the week after.
I can see that. I wouldn't
Yeah.
be. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
That would make Gold League like really interesting, right? Because we would have I guess that's really the only match that we know that's happening next week is just Brody and Claudio. We don't know who else is wrestling who yet, at least. Oh, you do?
I do. That's what I'm saying. When we get to Blue League, we'll talk about it.
Oh, I'm talking about like specifically Gold League, just Gold League.
Oh, Gold League. Okay, yeah. No, we do. So it is Brody and Claudio next week on Gold League, but
Uh-huh.
I don't. Yeah, we don't know who else.
Okay, so yeah, it'll really depend on who else is gonna wrestle, and then we gotta see what's gonna happen with Juice. But I can see Brody and Claudio having 4 points. Because I think whoever is gonna win this match is probably gonna have an early lead in Gold. Because the only other person who has 3 is Ospreay, and depending on who Ospreay is wrestling next, like we don't know who it is. I don't think they're gonna go crazy and put Ricochet here. I think they're gonna wait until the week of the pay per view to do Ospreay Ricochet. Like that could be like one of these two will be second place to Claudio or so, I don't know, to something.
Right.
I do wonder. Maybe that's why they haven't told us yet. Because the scenario would be Brody or Claudio would have 6 points if either of them win. Worst case, they have 4. And if Ospreay wins his next match, which is most likely going to be on Collision again, because it was on Collision this week, he jumps up into the lead. That would be interesting. I guess it just depends on who's going to wrestle. Because he's for sure wrestling next week. You just don't know who it is yet.
Right. We only have one match in Blue League and one match in Gold League that's been announced.
That Blue League match, though. I know we keep on teasing it.
Oh, that Blue League match is that's gonna be a banger.
I think we'll see what happens in Gold, right? My prediction is I'm gonna go out on a limb. I'm gonna say that Claudio's gonna have the lead. He might be tied with Ospreay. And don't we know the Gold League match for in 2 weeks? Like it's Ospreay versus somebody in 2 weeks, right? Ospreay and Brody, right?
Darby. Nope, Darby.
Ospreay and Darby in 2 weeks.
Yep. Let me wait. Hold it.
Holding.
On the 18th, Ospreay and Darby Allin.
Okay. But yeah, I wish they would have said who's Ospreay's gonna wrestle this week.
Yeah. Wait, so if he's wrestling Darby 2 weeks, this week he's either wrestling.
It would have to be Ricochet, right? Because he's already wrestled Juice.
Ricochet. Yeah, it'd have to be Ricochet.
Shit. I can see them waiting until that one I would have announced on TV instead of announcing it on Monday when they do their Monday announcements. That would have been a TV one.
They're gonna announce it on. They're gonna announce that shit on on Dynamite. For sure.
The AEW normally does like a Tony Khan does his Monday announcements where he'll like do his matches on like Mondays on Twitter and on now Blue Sky. He does on Blue Sky now too, which is cool. But God, if we get Ospreay Ricochet this week, I for sure think Ospreay's not winning that match. I have a feeling.
I think Ricochet's winning.
Yeah, I also agree with you. I think Ricochet's gonna win. Ospreay's not winning that match. I don't think so. Ospreay's gonna be stuck at 3. Ricochet will go up to 3. Claudio, in my mind, will go up to 6. So we'll have a 3-way tie at 3, and then Claudio will just be on top. And then Darby will have 0 because Darby ain't winning no matches in this league.
He's getting killed this league. And all right, I kind of feel like Brody King's gonna win
Against Claudio?
Yep.
Shit.
how I'm feeling. I'm feeling like Brody King is gonna beat Claudio.
God, I wish we'd have filled our brackets. We didn't.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, whatever. But we'll see what happens. So no matter what, guaranteed either Brody or Claudio are going to be in the league. Because if Ospreay is wrestling Ricochet next week, I don't think Ospreay's beating Ricochet, especially after Ricochet lost his first match to Claudio. Yeah, I think they're going to be tied at 3. But I still don't see that happening this early. I definitely feel like that's going to be like this is the last week of the normal term before we get in the semifinals. Ospreay Ricochet. But they already announced Ospreay in Derby for 2 weeks. So, oh god.
Unless it's Ricochet and Darby. Like I don't know.
Well, it couldn't be, right? Because that means Ospreay has already wrestled Juice or whoever's going to replace Juice. So then Ospreay just wouldn't wrestle? Well, you know what? I'm thinking ahead because they have the Dynamite Battle Royal, Dynamite Dozen Battle Royal.
Yep.
This week too. So we might only get the 2 matches. We might only get the Gold League match and Blue League match. Maybe.
Yep. Maybe. We'll see.
And then they might stack Collision with the other ones.
Ooh, Collision.
Yeah. We'll see. You have any other Gold League thoughts before we move forward?
Gold League is fun. Like, it's really fun so far watching. I do so like for the Claudio Brody King match next week. It's like I'm either leaning toward Brody King just flat out winning, or it's a draw.
Mm-hmm. I'm fully confident in Claudio.
Yeah,
I think Death Rider Claudio takes this.
Death Rider Claudio.
Yeah.
I think the way they've been doing House of Black lately, and Brody King, they're for sure behind Brody King. I think I just think it's going to be a damn good match, and it's going to be a war.
It would be wild to see a draw in that because we had arguably one draw that I don't know if that should have been a draw or not, but that's my own opinion in the Blue League.
Mm-hmm.
I guess we can move over Blue League. I don't have any other thoughts on Gold. We've kind of already talked about those. We can go straight over to Blue now.
Yeah, let's hit Blue League.
I guess we can start with we gotta start with Shelton Benjamin, Mark Briscoe. Get that one out of the way.
Oh yeah.
Shelty B finally wrestled someone his own size, kinda.
He's still bigger than Mark Briscoe. Good lord.
It didn't matter. Didn't matter. Mark did what he could. He did his best, right? He did as much redneck kung fu as he could, but it was not enough to stop Shelton.
Yeah, redneck kung fu can't be badass. Sorry.
No. What was interesting was like before, because Shelton and Mark, they were ones who opened Dynamite, right? We're going to be jumping around a little bit, guys. If you haven't already noticed, we're just going to talk about Continental Classic for the start. But Mark and Shelton started the Dynamite, but the Hurt Syndicate came out first, and they had their whole rousing thing, right? They got to talk their shit. But we will talk about that a little bit later, maybe not. Who knows? But yeah, Shelton did what he was gonna do. We knew he wasn't. We had said that Mark probably wasn't gonna win any matches, maybe one in Blue. So he's off to that start right now.
Yep. So that means he's gonna be ROH World Champion after the end of the tournament. He gets his reward.
We gotta wait for that TV deal first, though, right? We get the TV deal. They do the match on the first episode of TV deal. Get Jericho out of there. Mark Briscoe become champion again, and we move on.
Yeah. Or we just get the Beast Mortos to be champ. I'm good with that.
You know, funny enough, Mortos is the only person in the whole leagues that wrestled another match outside of the leagues this week.
Yes. He wrestled 2 matches in the same night.
Yeah. In like the same, wasn't like the same hour, but it was Collision and then Rampage, and he just, all right, he's a beast for a reason.
Yep.
That match he had wasn't easy.
No, not at all.
I guess we can talk about that one next. Mortos did wrestle Kyle Fletcher in their first match of Blue League. Fletcher is just He just seems unstoppable right now.
Yeah. Kyle Fletcher, man, like he's taken himself to like a completely different level now. He's ridiculous now.
And bro, look, I knew Fletcher was big, and I knew Mortos isn't like tall, but he's a big guy, right?
Yeah.
I did not know Fletcher was bigger than fucking Mortos. Like, Jesus Christ.
He just towered over him, man.
He might be the same size as Shelton.
Shelton, I think Shelton Benjamin's shorter.
Oh, God. So Shelton's finally going to wrestle someone that might be like an inch taller than him in AEW?
For once, yeah.
Oh, my God.
So, wait, because I think Kyle Fletcher is like 6'4", right?
I think so, maybe.
I think Shelton Benjamin's like 6'2", 6'3".
Oh, Shelton's going to be the little man in the match.
Yeah, so Shelton Benjamin's 6'2".
He's going to be the little man in the match.
And then, yeah, Kyle Fletcher's 6'4". No, he's 6'3". He's 6'3". So
he got an inch.
Yeah, ain't gonna stop him from getting suplexed, but it's fine.
And for those who don't know, that's the match we were leading up to. The Blue League match that we have announced is Kyle Fletcher versus Shelton Benjamin this week on Dynamite.
Yeah.
Which if you would have told me that we were gonna get one tie in the tournament, I thought that match would be it, and I didn't think they were gonna do it this early.
Yeah, I thought that would have been the tie.
Yeah. But that one, actually, you know what? We will talk about that one a little bit. That's a future match, right?
Yeah.
Kyle Fletcher beats Mortos. They did their thing. Mortos tried his best. Like, Mortos did have some offense. There's all these matches are going to be back and forth. There's not going to be one match in here that's like fully dominated by somebody. But it didn't matter. Kyle Fletcher was able to just overpower Mortos, hit him with that buckle bomb or that buckle brain buster. Got his ass up out of here.
And then at the end hit the sheer drop brainbuster in the middle of the ring.
Yeah. Just took Mortos out.
Yeah, took him out completely, man. It was so deadly. It looked so cool though.
up until his next match on Rampage.
Yeah. You better tie his boots on extra tight. He might get suplexed on him.
Why did they have Mortos wrestle twice? They couldn't get anyone else to wrestle Serpentico?
They're like, Mortos, we need you for a second match. Roar! I guess that means yes. Okay.
We know you just got your head caved in by Kyle Fletcher. Go ahead and go beat up Serpentico. That's your reward.
Get that dub.
Oh, God.
The Serpentico. Why not?
Yeah.
It's easy work. Easy work for Mortos. Well, not really.
That match was a little more back and forth than I thought it was going to be on that Lucha Rampage, but we'll probably talk about that a little bit later.
It's only because Mortos got dropped on his head about an hour earlier.
He was groggy. He was already groggy. He didn't know where he was before. He just kind of, you know what? Maybe he didn't even mean to wrestle. Maybe he just went out there, and Tony was in the back like, wait, no, you're not wrestling. He just ran out there.
You're not supposed to wrestle. Roar. Okay, you're wrestling.
Go.
Yeah, go.
Hit his music. Fine. Go. But that leads us to the final match of Blue League.
Yeah.
Daniel Garcia versus Kazuchika Okada.
So that match was damn good. It was a really good match.
That was Okada at like 20%, maybe.
You know what? We need like a graphic of like, Okada as Taguro, right? It's like you wrestled 20% Okada.
If someone has the Photoshop, we have forms of Tagoro. We have pictures, right? So we just need someone to put Okada's face on each one, and we're good. Like we have base Okada, which is just Tagoro in the suit. We have 20%, which is this match. We have 40%, which is I don't even know when he wrestled 40%. I can't remember last time he wrestled 40%. We talked about it though. And then his last 100% was like in the Tokyo Dome somewhere.
Just Tokyo Dome Okada is 100%. Oh my god.
But yeah, this match actually ended in a draw. For those who don't remember, there are 20-minute time limits in Continental Classic matches, and if you get a draw, you get 1 point. So now Daniel Garcia and Kazuchika Okada both have 1 point.
Yep.
Which is insane.
But oh man, that match was so good. That match was, there was a ton of back and forth, but Daniel Garcia almost had him. He almost had him at the end. But it's cool seeing the cool thing I thought was, so Daddy Magic was out there on commentary. They were talking to him on commentary, and they were mentioning the fact that that Daniel Garcia isn't playing around anymore. That he's like more serious. They're like, "Do you notice ever since he got the title, he's more serious?" And he's like, he's only had the title for like a week, but yeah, sure.
Yeah, if we're gonna be real, he's been more serious since he came back, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Since whenever his Tron changed to like the all red and just his picture like stanced up, like he's been serious this entire time since then.
Yep.
So if we want to talk about him being serious now with the title, sure, yes, but now he is as much serious as he was 2 weeks ago.
Right. So, but it's cool that they actually like are acknowledging that, like the change. Because before he was doing that little dance thing, and but now he's like, nah, I'm just coming in the ring. I'm fucking you up.
They also brought up the fact that he was the one who declared himself. Like we know he did, right? Because we saw it in the scrum for Full Gear.
Yeah.
But and Daddy Magic was all like, I don't know if I agree with it, but he did it, which I like that too, honestly. Like you're really gung ho. You want to go in here. You want to make a name for yourself. And low key, you kind of did by wrestling Okada to a 20-minute draw.
Yeah.
And almost having Okada. Like Daniel Garcia was the one in the driver's seat when that bell rang.
Yep. If they had like a few more, if he would have had like 20, 30 more seconds, Okada would have been tapping.
Yeah. Now, do I agree? No, because I still have that image of Okada from New Japan, who is long gone at this point. Still one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. But that Okada from New Japan is out of here. Like, he is gone. He made his money. He is chilling. But, hey, new champion, right? Garcia is a new champion.
Uh-huh.
So it makes sense not to just have him straight lose, even if it is against the Continental Champion in his first match here.
Right, but at the same time, you don't want to instantly devalue that belt, right?
Exactly.
You don't want to do the no, I'm not even going to mention that fucking other company on here. But
I know what you're talking about though.
They do it all the time.
Yeah, I mean it makes him look like a threat, right? He wrestled Okada to a draw, and I'm going to just assume that no one else in this field is going to wrestle Okada to a draw.
No, I feel like Okada is going to blow through mostly. So they're going to put him against Bortos and Mark Briscoe next, and he's going to blow through those guys. And then he's going to have some problems with Shelton Benjamin and Kyle Fletcher.
Yeah. But, like, Okada's definitely, like, guaranteed for the semis. For sure. Like, it feels guaranteed. Is he going to win the semis? Probably not. But it feels like he's going to be one of those top two at World's End. To me, at least.
I can see him being top two.
Yeah. You know, that's actually really it for Continental Classic. Oh, actually, you know what? No. We got to talk about the match that's going to be happening this Wednesday.
Okay. So we got two happening this Wednesday. One of them we already talked about. Brody King and Claudio, which we talked about at the end of the Gold League one. Oh boy, that's gonna be a motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Blue League match, Kyle Fletcher and Shelton Benjamin.
This one for me is hard to call. I feel like it's not going to be hard to call, but It's hard to call.
Hmm. I'm gonna. You know what? I don't care. I'm gonna go against it. I'm gonna say Shelton Benjamin's winning.
Yeah, I agree with you. That's what I was gonna say. That's where I'm at. Like if
Yeah.
I don't, It's not upset. Kyle Fletcher is on a roll right now for sure.
Yeah.
Sheldon got the experience. Because look, Kyle Fletcher has not been in a G1. He's been in World Tag League, not G1. And yes, this Kyle Fletcher is different than New Japan Kyle Fletcher. This Kyle Fletcher's on a whole nother level. But so is Shelton Benjamin.
Yep.
We'll see how it goes. Yeah, realistically, it's probably going to be Kyle Fletcher, right? Like Kyle Fletcher probably going to win this match. I would like to see a draw. I would like to see a draw here. That would be cool.
That'd be interesting. I would like to see a draw too.
Yeah.
And then it would make like the Blue League even crazier, right? Because you ultimately would have Kyle Fletcher, Shelton Benjamin, Daniel Garcia, and Okada all tied at 4 points.
Whew. Sorry, Morto. Sorry, Mark.
Sorry, guys.
That would actually low key, if they did that, that actually might put Mortos and Mark out immediately. Right? Because okay, let's see. So we know Kyle Fletcher and Shelton Benjamin, right? And again, we don't know the other matches for Blue League that's happening this week. But you assume, my assumption is Okada's gonna wrestle Mark Briscoe. Get that dub. And by default, that means Daniel Garcia is gonna wrestle Beast Mortos. Which low key, if we wanted to have something special, if we wanted to set up a TNT title match early on for World's End, have Mortos beat Garcia.
I wouldn't have him beat him yet. Right? I would reverse it. I would have Danny Garcia go against Mark Briscoe. And then Okada go against Mortos. So that way they both get the win, right? So it makes it that 4 point, like, those four people at 4 points, right?
Yeah.
And then the week after you have Danny Garcia go against Mortos and lose. And Mortos gets his first, win in the Continental Classic and possibly gets a title shot outside of it.
And easily World's End. Or like Mortos, because Mortos, for a reason, just wrestling outside of the Continental Classic now. They can just randomly do that somewhere. But really, realistically, World's End.
Yeah.
Because, no matter what, whoever Garcia is wrestling at World's End for the TNT title is going to be in this Continental Classic somewhere. In the Blue League, for sure.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't mind it being Mortos.
Why not?
Because, look, he can beat Mortos. It can't be Shelton, because Shelton will whoop that ass. Fletcher will whoop that ass. Briscoe has another title waiting for him.
Yeah, he's not fucking with Kyle Fletcher, man.
No.
Hell no.
No.
Not right now.
If you want to give Fletcher the title immediately, sure. Other than that, no. Honestly, though, that's really it for the Continental Classic. You have any final? Okay, 2 questions.
Yeah.
1, what was your match of the tournament for week 1? And 2, what other final thoughts do you have on the Continental Classic as a whole this week?
So, match of the tournament for week 1. Oh man, I think Blue League has it this week for me, right?
Mm-hmm.
I like Fletcher and Martos, but Daniel Garcia and Okada probably for me, best match of the week for the tournament.
I actually agree with you, but I will pick another one for the sake of picking another one. My favorite of this week was probably Claudio and Ricochet.
Yeah.
That was a really good one too.
That was a really good one.
Like if I had to pick an overall favorite, I also think it's like Garcia and Okada. Like I really like that match, but just for the sake of picking something different, Claudia and Ricochet was really fun.
Or how about we just pick a Gold League, Blue League one?
Oh, that works.
Yeah. So, yeah, like Blue League, Garcia, Okada. For Gold League, for me, it has to be Osprey Juice.
That was a really good match.
That was a good match.
Open collision too, pretty well.
Yep. That was fun. It was really fun.
Now we just have to wait to see what other matches we get this week. Tony Khan normally announces them on Monday, so by the time this podcast comes up, we will most likely already know what the other matches are that are going to happen in Blue and Gold League this week, because it's for sure just not going to be the two. We're going to get more. We'll just see when they happen.
Yeah, because like the only other matches we have right now are the ones that are going to happen on, I think, the 18th.
Mm-hmm.
Which one is Osprey Darby, and the other one, I think it's just Osprey Darby that we know of right now.
I feel like we know one for Ricochet. No, that might be the only one. Yeah, I think that's the only one. Yeah, you're right.
That's the only one I see. And oh man, yeah. So, and then we have yeah, I see that, and then there's a bunch of the women's matches. Oh wait, on the 11th we have Claudio and Osprey.
There it is.
So that's on the 11th. So that's next Wednesday. Not this coming Wednesday, next Wednesday.
I wonder why they don't have any for Collision yet. There's one more tournament we got to talk about before we move on to the story stuff.
Yes, we do.
We have the Wrestle Dynasty International Women's Cup qualifier. The only match that we had this week was Jamie Hayter versus Queen Aminata.
Yep.
Very fun match. It was really good. It was really enjoyable. I was very upset that those two had to wrestle each other. I wish they both could have won, but it is what it is. Jamie Hayter did take the win. It was not easy. It was a very good match. It was not easy for Jamie. Yeah, so next we're going to find out if Jamie Hayter wrestles either Serena Deeb or Willow Nightingale. Which, funny enough, I hate to do this because it's ragging on somebody.
Oh wait, because I think you're going to talk about what I was going to bring up.
Oh, go ahead, bring it up. Got it. It's all you.
Okay, so do you notice they put Willow against Serena Deeb instead of a certain DMD that was supposed to be feuding with Serena Deeb?
Yep, they teased the match a couple weeks ago.
Right?
And then all of a sudden, we get a Willow return. And Willow returns fighting the Death Riders, right? So we assumed that Willow was going to be wrestling against... oh my god, I forgot her name. No.
Marina Shafir,
thank you. We assumed she was going to wrestle Marina Shafir because they had just had like the little thing at Full Gear. Then we don't see Willow on Dynamite. And then we get a backstage thing with her on Collision or Rampage, whichever one it was. I think it was Collision. Saying that, I have a chance for the cup. I am AEW's international woman. So it's really, it's kind of coming out of nowhere that Deeb is wrestling Willow instead of DMD.
Yeah, it's almost like that no one cares thing. It's like, oh, okay, no one cares? Well, no one cares you're on TV either.
Get out of here.
No one cares you're in this match either, right? Like, I don't know, man. Like that. I feel like that matchup was supposed to be Britt Baker versus Serena Deeb.
Oh, you know what? Don't Jamie Hayter and Britt have beef now?
They might.
Ooh, because Serena Deeb isn't win that match. So if it was Deeb versus DMD, that means Jamie Hayter was gonna wrestle DMD. Do you think because they had beef that they were like, we're not gonna do that? Or do you think this might have been the plan all along? We could just be reading into this. This could have been the plan all along. But it is really weird that Deeb came out to interrupt DMD, and then we haven't seen DMD since.
Yeah.
Or again, we could be wrong, and Britt comes out and screws Serena Deeb. It could be a thing. I don't think that's gonna happen.
Well, they don't have any of the Continental Classic rules, so that could for sure happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, because that'd be weird because there'd be, for sure there's going to be 2 interruptions. There's going to be another interruption, right?
Mm-hmm.
When Jamie Hayter is wrestling in the semis or finals, whoever for whoever's going to be the representative for AEW, right? Julia Hart's going to interrupt. We already know this.
I mean, Julia did basically interrupt at the end of her match with Queen Aminata with that empty spotlight.
Uh-huh.
So it's gonna happen. I mean, it would suck for Jamie because it feels like Jamie should be in that match for the International Women's Cup. But at the same time, you put Willow in here, it just kind of feels like Willow's taking this. Willow is already a tournament winner. She's already won 2 tournaments in like the last 2 years. So,
And she's pretty much almost won every title from like all the companies that they're, aligned with. So yeah, it only makes sense.
Yeah, she went to Stardom with the TBS Championship too. Like it makes a ton of sense for Willow to be the AEW rep. Easily.
Well, then we're gonna have Willow versus Athena. So yeah, that's gonna be great.
Right, because we do know that the Ring of Honor match, right? I didn't look at the results. I don't know if the match has happened yet or not, but we do know that it's going to be Billy Starks. It's going to be Athena. It's gonna be Shorty. What is her name? Layla Hirsch.
Yeah, legit Layla Hirsch.
And then there's one more woman. I think it was Red Velvet.
Yep, that's who they're going against each other. Red Velvet and Layla Hirsch.
That's top of the dome too. I don't even have that in front of me. Let's go. I'll take that. So we know for sure Athena's going to be the rep for Ring of Honor. Like for sure. There's no reason if Athena doesn't have a title match at Wrestle Dynasty, she's going to be in this International Cup for sure. And then it really just is on CMLL and Stardom who they're going to send. Like I have no idea who could be for CMLL. I have a couple ideas for Stardom.
Right.
Like it could be I don't think it'd be Mayu. I think Maya's going to have her own match. Mayu Iwatani, I think she's going to have her own match. Who I would like it to be is Shuri. But who knows? It could be anyone. It could be Momo because Momo's been traveling the world. Momo Watanabe, she's been traveling around also, so she could get the spot. Who else is really big over there right now? It could be Natsupoi. Natsupoi could be a good person for the spot. Like there are a few people that Stardom can send over. It just depends on who they're going to do it. Who they can send.
Yeah, I'm curious because then it's going to be a 4-way match between everybody that gets in. So, yeah, that's going to be real interesting.
Mm-hmm. I don't know CMLL enough to know who they're going to send over. Like, I have no idea, to be honest. So, I don't get to watch CMLL as much.
Yeah.
All right, so then out of the 2 people that we know are going to be in the cup, Willow and Athena, do you think one of those 2 are going to win?
Oh, I think Willow's going to win.
I can see it.
I think Willow's 100% going to win.
I think for me, it depends on who the star rep's going to be. Like, if the star rep's like Azumi or like someone like there, then it for sure is going to be Willow. Or, I mean, Athena's going to be in the match too.
Right.
It's hard for me to count on Athena right now. Because at that point, Athena might not be ROH Women's World Champion anymore either. Maybe, depending on what happens at Final Battle.
Who's she going against in Final Battle?
If they do the match, it's going to be Billy Starks. If they do the match. We don't know if it's going to be the match yet. They're building that right now. But we don't, it's not like signed yet. Like we have no match graphic for it.
Right. That's, I can see that's who she's 100% going to lose the title to, is Billy Starks.
Oh, for sure. And it makes sense to do it in the Hammerstein Barroom, right? They're going to be in Philly at the Hammerstein Barroom for Final Battle. So if you want a kind of venue for Athena to lose her title, she already has like the championship reign of championship reigns. She's literally the longest Ring of Honor champion, male or female, of all time. So if there's any time to pass it, it would be then at the end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll see. That's all we got for that, man. You wanna go through what we got going on for storylines for AEW?
Yeah, I gotta bring up something real quick. Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. It's easier if I just go through the card.
Oh, don't worry, bro. I don't even trip. There's really not that much to talk about now anyway. Like, Continental Classic and the women's tournament was a majority of what was going on.
Yep. Let's see here. Okay, so some of the things that happened was we had, so like we mentioned earlier, MVP and the Hurt Syndicate all came out, right? Right at the beginning, before Shelton Benjamin wrestled. And MVP is reiterating pretty much, is like, hey, when we give you that card, it's giving you the golden ticket. And and if you deny the card, we just beat the crap out of you, which is what we did to Swerve Strickland. And this is pretty much continuing that arc between Swerve and the Hurt, the Hurt Syndicate. One of the things before, when they left for Shelton Benjamin's match, was Bobby Lashley was walking, and Mark Briscoe pretty much was walking, doing his thing, and then ran into Bobby Lashley, and they had a little stare down. And Mark Briscoe was like, yeah, I'm gonna whoop your boy's ass, and just ran over to the side and ran into the ring.
The second I saw that, I was like, Mark, don't do it.
No, you're gonna die, Mark. Oh, but yeah, one of the things is how Swerve calls himself the most dangerous man, and he's like, no, Swerve isn't the most dangerous man in AEW. It's the almighty Bobby Lashley that is the most dangerous man in AEW. And, he showed that. But the last part, I just want to read verbatim. He's like, we come here to take championship titles, and leverage them for money and more power. We are the merchants of misery. We are in the profession of pain. And what do? We hurt people. And that was the end of the promo. And I'm like, yeah. And there's no booing these guys. It's just not possible. We can't boo them.
We've been talking about it for weeks. Like, they could literally take a child from the ringside and like throw the baby like 10 rows back, and everyone still cheer.
Yeah,
you're not booing them.
They're not booing them. It's just they're like they're not even really. Yeah, you're not booing them. You're not booing the Hurt Syndicate.
And let me tell you,
if they happen to like fight the Death Riders, woo boy, that's just gonna be a war. But that ain't gonna happen anytime soon.
Nah, we're definitely not gonna see that. Like, they are the two opposing evil forces that are happening right now. They're not. Yeah. I would like to see like a little run in where they just kind of look at each other, and like Moxley and Bobby Lashley just looking at each other, and then I don't even know who, Claudio and Shelton. We're gonna wait. Hold on. Wait.
Oh, keep going.
Wait. Oh no, that would have to be, if we get that would have to be like a semifinals thing. If we see Claudio and Shelton, that have to be a semifinals for World's End.
It could be.
Yeah, we can get our little run in.
Yep.
But yeah.
But yeah, I thought it was good. But yeah, there's no going to Hurt Syndicate, man. Let's see. So the next thing that happened was, we have Mercedes Moné, with Camille right next to her. And, of course, Tony Schiavone introduced her, and she took the mic from Tony Schiavone. And she pretty much said, Chris Statlander was one of the hardest fights that she had. And she's like, one of the best in the ring. But, unfortunate for her, she's the greatest TBS champion of all time. And she showed it at Full Gear. And then right when she turned to Camille and she was about to fire Camille, and Camille pretty much was like, "You can't fire me, I quit." And Camille walked away. And Mercedes was pissed off. You don't mess with Mercedes Moné. And this continues later on into, I think it's Rampage.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Where we see Camille beaten up. Somebody beat the shit out of her backstage. Wonder who or how many people or who beat the crap out of her.
It was interesting, right? Because all you hear is like, the sound of a chair like hit the ground, and you hear Camille like yell or something, and then they run and they see her. She's just out. She's out.
So is this somebody like, could it be Megan Bayne now? Who knows?
We've been saying Megan Bayne for weeks, bro.
Could it be the Renegade Twins?
You know who I think it was?
Who?
Adam Copeland.
Just Edge.
Nah, I definitely feel like it was probably like the Renegade Twins, right? Like I'm tired of guessing Megan Bayne. If it was Megan Bayne, dope. I'm not gonna guess it this time. It was probably someone like the Renegade Twins, because Mercedes has said that she wants to work with them. And that's who she really wants to work with, right? Like, no offense to Camille. I don't know Camille as a person or anything like that. But yeah. I think after the showing that she had with Statlander and Queen Aminata, like, you have to have a heavy for Mercedes that can actually like kind of go. Or not even heavy, but like henchwomen that can kind of go.
Right.
The Renegade Twins would be that. They're pretty good wrestlers, so it will work out.
Yeah, they can go. So yeah, that was pretty much the end of that, and immediately, like right after that, on Dynamite was match that surprised me is Jericho and Ishii.
Can I say something about this really quick before you get into it?
Yeah, go ahead.
This was my match of the night.
Oh,
overall, this was my favorite match on Dynamite. Straight up, like I've talked a lot of mess about Jericho on this podcast, for sure. Like, if y'all listen to the episodes, you know it. This match was like made for me. Like, I know I saw a lot of people on Blue Sky who were like, "Oh, I don't like people getting beat up." I'm like, this was a Japanese match. I love this. Like, Jericho and Ishii had like handprints on their faces. Jericho was like, it felt like he was like legit bleeding out of his mouth. They had a fight. It was really good.
Oh, dude, like the side, you looked on the side of his mouth. It looks like he had a knot on the side of his face. Like, if like you got like a tooth pulled or something like that, and how your cheek sticks out. That's how Jericho's cheek was sticking out. Like something like that happened. I was like, oh shit! But yeah, they went to war, man.
It was so good. It was too good.
Painmaker Jericho. It wasn't the Nueve. That was the Painmaker.
This was it was for sure Painmaker, right?
Yeah.
Because they had to find a way to one up their match that they had a couple weeks ago, or however long ago that was. It was a while ago.
Yeah.
But they had to one up that match, right? And this was the way to do it. I know this isn't everyone's cup of tea. This is mine. I love this type of wrestling where you just fight. They did some wrestling moves here and there, but you just fight. I love it.
Man, I think the hilarious part of the buildup was Ishii wanted Jericho to sign the contract, and when Jericho wouldn't, he just literally appeared everywhere. Ishii just followed him everywhere until he signed it.
He stalked him for like 4 minutes till they got into the ring last week. It was hilarious.
Yep. It's great. Every time you looked up, Ishii was just behind him. But yeah, this was a fun match. It was a really fun match. Jericho won, ultimately. And here's the thing, there was no interference in this match. So Jericho won without interference. There was one point Big Bill was about to run and jump into the ring and interfere. And Joey Schiavone called him out on it. He's like, "Oh, what are you doing?" He's like, Big Bill's like, "I trust Jericho. He was going to kick out." But yeah, overall, yeah, it was real good.
Mm-hmm.
Now probably like one of the best parts of the night. The hardest working woman in AEW, Renee, caught up with Swerve and Nana. And Swerve, he was talking about the loss and like what he's going to do next. And he's pretty much saying Lashley hits like a truck, which yeah, he does. And then Max Caster walked by laughing at Swerve, and Swerve was like, "Hey, my man, what's so funny?" And then Max started talking trash about the Swerve, saying he used to be a house of fire, all this stuff about him losing, because he's lost consecutively now. And Swerve got pissed and just beat the shit out of him. It was great. Max Caster got his ass kicked. It was good.
I've been waiting for that shit.
Swerve just picked him up and he was like, "What the hell did you say? What the hell did you just say?" And then when Max Caster started talking again, he threw him on the I don't know, it was like the stuff backstage where they used to move the stuff. Yeah. He threw him on that. He started punching him and beating the crap out of him there, and then he pulled him off of there. And when Max Caster was like kind of rolled up, he ran up and kicked him in the face.
Love that shit. It was so good.
Yeah, I think everybody loved it. I don't think anyone likes Max Caster. But yeah, man, I thought that was good. Right after that, we have our other one with Hangman, and of course, Jay White appears. The wild Jay White appears. So Hangman, he was talking about in the ring, hey, Christopher Daniels wants to get in his way. Next time, he's going to beat him so bad he doesn't get back up. And he was talking about Christian. He was like, "Yo, Christian, we had a deal. You cash in, and I get a shot at the title." He's like, "Hey, if you would have did your part, I would have been, at home eating turkey and enjoying Thanksgiving with my family. But no, you decided to lose, so now I got to take matters into my own hands." And right after that, Jay White appears. And pretty much Jay White is like, "Yo, you lost to me." And if you want to lose again, I'll beat you up again. I'll just keep beating you. Is pretty much what he said. As they were talking, the Death Riders come up. Pac starts fighting Jay White. Wheeler Yuta comes in and blindsides Adam Page. think he like chop blocked him in the back of his knee. And Adam Page went down for a second.
Yeah, it was that injured knee, the one that Hangman's been like limping on for like the last couple weeks.
Yep. And after that, Marina Shafir hit Hangman Page with the briefcase. Jay White rolled into the ring, was about to do the Blade Runner to Marina Shafir. Moxley came in, put him in the chokehold, and then he went from one chokehold to another chokehold because Marina Shafir put him in the mother's milk and just like left Jay White just there. And then they did the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure and then started stomping the shit out of him. All the Death Riders just stomping Jay White. But yeah, that was a pretty good segment. But it sets up a lot of things. Pac is in the, hashtag what about Pac? He's back and in the mix. He's gonna be fighting Jay White next week.
Yep.
It also set up the match with Hangman Page and Wheeler Yuta. And yeah, it was it's still setting up, more people going against the Death Rider, giving more people reasons to fight the Death Riders, which is kind of neat.
It definitely felt like before it definitely felt like Darby was gonna be next, but Darby's taken like that. I think that loss to Claudio for sure should set him back, right? And now he's in the Continental Classic, so he is indisposed for a little bit. So everyone's saying that Darby might be the one to beat Moxley. Right now, it doesn't feel like it. Right now, it feels like if we had to go by feel, a person's going to beat Moxley, it feels like it's going to be Hangman right now.
Yeah. Feels like it's going to be AEW's main character.
Yeah. I mean, if there's anyone who can save AEW, right, it's Hangman. But Hangman has to get through, again, his demons.
Yep. And I think it was on Collision. They had a backstage segment with him and Christopher Daniels.
Yeah, it was Collision.
And Christopher Daniels is like, hey, we need Hangman back. Like, you're going down a path that's like, pretty much destroying yourself, like this path of vengeance. And he's like, you need to let all that shit go, because as long as you hold on to it, you're just going to keep going down further, right? And Hangman ain't hearing any of that shit. He wasn't hearing any of that. He was like, yo, if they did to you what they did to me and my family, you'd do the same thing too. So don't tell me about that, or I'm gonna just beat your ass again. Christopher Daniels.
I mean, he has a fair point, right? But again, we talked about last week. Swerve was telling him that same thing. Like literally, he said, "You're so bent, you're so like pent up on vengeance that you don't notice that everything around you is crumbling. Like you were the guy. Like you were a former AEW World Champion, and you're on this like, I don't even want to call it petty, because break into a house, threatening your wife and child is not petty, but like you're on this like petty revenge tour after already beating Swerve. Now you're after Jay White. It just like find a way to move on. Like if you move on, you can be that guy. Like you are the one. Like you already brought it up last week when Hangman was in the ring with Moxley. Moxley looked shook. So it's there. Hangman just has to find his way out of this.
Yeah, no, like, Hangman rolled in the ring. Moxley felt that plot armor go away. So yeah, no.
Mm-hmm. I can see being Hangman. I mean, look, I got on the Hangman has done nothing wrong people last episode for sure. Like, don't get me wrong, I did, because those people are still insane.
Yeah.
But Hangman is the main character for a reason. He just has to get over his demons, figure this out. He can be the one to take out Moxley. He's beaten Moxley before.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's beaten Moxley literally at his own game. Like, sure, Orange Cassidy's beaten Moxley before too, but that was like a straight up wrestling match, right? Like, that happened. But Hangman stepped into Moxley's world and beat him in a Texas death match.
Yeah.
Hangman just got to figure it out.
As far as like one of the most dangerous people like Moxley can that that can challenge Moxley is for sure Hangman.
Mm-hmm.
Like if they make an enemy a Hangman, he's like the worst person to make the enemy, right? Like
Especially now.
yeah, like he's just gonna keep coming at you. It doesn't matter. He's gonna find a way to take all of you out, and he won't stop until you're all gone. So yeah, it's gonna be real interesting because that's how it feels like it's gonna go. It's like he's gonna start going through all the Death Riders. Maybe not Claudio at this point, but the rest of the Death Riders, I can for sure see him going through all of them.
Okay.
Well, he already went through one, just Wheeler Yuta,
Yeah.
but
And now, Jay White's gonna be going through Pac because we talked about Hangman this whole situation. Like I said on the last episode, if there's anyone who has a genuine claim to that title right now, because we don't do rankings anymore, right? If anyone has a genuine claim to that title right now, it's Jay White. Jay White's beaten Hangman twice already.
yeah,
Right? He's about to wrestle Pac next week. Like Jay White has a legitimate claim to the title right now. Is he gonna be the one to beat Moxley? No, probably not.
no,
But if there is like a de facto number one contender, if it was a 1-on-1 match, Jay White is that guy.
yes,
It won't be 1-on-1. It will most likely be a 3-way or a 4-way. But you know,
it would probably be a one-on-one. Well, it's 1v4 most of the time because it's you versus Moxley and all the Death Riders, right?
mm-hmm.
But at the same time, Jay White has numbers too.
Well,
Well, kind of.
one less right now. We know one
Yeah.
for sure is like out of commission. We don't even know where the guns are.
Yeah, we don't know where the guns are. The guns have disappeared.
Yeah.
Yeah, so wait, maybe Jay White might be by himself.
Which is such a funny shift from how it was in New Japan. Like it's just funny to see this.
Yeah. But yeah, no. That was a pretty good segment. So the next one, you know, we had the backstage with Don Callis and Kyle Fletcher. Pretty much, hey, Kyle Fletcher beat Ospreay, and now that he's done that, he's going to take the Continental Classic. It's pretty much the gist of that interview. We had Adam Cole and the Undisputed Kingdom, and pretty much with this, Adam Cole started talking. He was talking about, he was making that plea, "Hell, Max, be a man, fight me 1-on-1. Let's do this." Yeah, he's like, "When I get my hands on you, I'm gonna put the pain on you for what you did to Roddy." Kyle O'Reilly comes out and he's trying to tell Adam Cole, "Yo, hey, let me do this. I'm Roddy's friend as much as you are. Let me do this. Let me fight Max." Um, and then MJF, the genie that he is, appeared on screen and doing his supervillain thing, which is he was playing the piano, and he was talking. He was like, "Hey, I ain't got time to fight either of you. I got the dynamite diamond battle royal to go win next week. Well, this coming week coming up." And he's like, "Yeah, I ain't got time to fight you guys. I got to win my diamond ring again." And then so right after that, Adam Cole is like, "Yo, well, if that's how I can get to you, let me be the first person to enter the battle royal." And then Kyle Fletcher is like, "Yo, I'm the second one." So they both threw their hats in, which Kyle Fletcher is teetering and then is pissing off Adam Cole. So I can see stuff happening.
O'Reilly, Kyle O'Reilly.
Yeah. Oh, god damn it.
You got hit with the MVP MJF thing like I did. Don't worry about it.
Well, at least I'm not like Tony Schiavone and calling Shelton Benjamin Bobby Lashley. But yeah, there's that.
Oh, bro, I know we didn't talk about that earlier. I peeped that. I was like, okay.
He looked at him and was like, yeah, they're both incredible athletes, but yeah, that's Shelton Benjamin.
Yep.
Like, yeah.
Yep, incredible athletes, all right. Yep, that's apparently the only thing they have in common according to Tony Schiavone.
Oh God. So the last bit of story that we have is Renee, sat down with Mina Shirakawa. And Mina was talking about, hey, she knew there was going to be a time where Mariah May would turn on her, because if she was willing to do that to Toni Storm, it was only going to be a matter of time that she was going to do that to her too. And so, like, she was pretty much talking about how selfish Mariah May is, because she wants to kill anybody that gets close to her. So, and pretty much Mina was like, well, if that's the real you, I'm going to show you the real me. And then Mariah May then pops up, breaks a bottle over Mina's head, and goes, I want Mina. And then, we're going to get that match soon.
We got I think it was on Collision. There was a promo segment after. Like, so basically they cut up the whole thing, right? Where they basically took Mina out. Renee ran away, and then Mariah May did another phenomenal promo that only Mariah May can do at this point. She is just incredible right now.
Uh-huh.
It was just a really good promo. I'm not going to talk about too much about what was in it. It was just a really good promo. I think it was on Collision. Pretty sure.
Yeah, it was Collision. It was like the middle of Collision.
Yeah.
But well, she talked about how she knew there was going to be a day where Mina wanted to, she knew Mina wanted to go for the title. She knew all that stuff. So she wanted to let her go so she could have her chance. That's pretty much what Mariah, said.
Which is hilarious, because I'm pretty sure, like, would Mina have challenged for it? Sure. But I'm pretty sure they could have did it as friends. Mariah May is just insane.
Yeah. She's like, I'm going to give you all you wanted.
It's like, you don't have to hit her over the head with a champagne bottle to do this. Y'all were friends. Mina was very excited for you. You just, y'all could have just wrestled as friends, but no. Mariah May got to be crazy. And she don't got Toni Storm right now to beat around, so I guess Mina's the next one.
Well, she did mention that she was out tagging with Toni, when Toni Storm went to, Stardom, that they were tagging with each other.
Mm-hmm. They had a good time, too.
And, yeah, and she was pissed off about that, too.
And she ignored it a couple months ago when she was asked about it.
Yep. Yeah, that was all pretty much the story bits from Dynamite. Do you want to go over the ones for Collision?
Yeah, I got you.
Yep.
Collision ones. They actually had a couple matches in here too that weren't related to Continental Classic. I'll probably go over them like really quick. They're surprisingly, there was a lot of wrestling. Well, not surprisingly, Collision. They collide. There was a lot of wrestling here. I'm gonna go over them super quick. One of the matches that we had outside the Continental Classic was Giant TV and MXM Collection versus Private Party and Mystico. This is a really fun match.
Mystico, the god of CMLL.
With Private Party, our current gods of the AEW Tag Team Division. Against the gods of fashion. And Johnny TV came out there with like I don't know what that was on the back of his gear, on the back of his ring jacket, but it looked like he couldn't move. That thing was huge. Whatever that was on his back.
He was standing there and Mansoor had a leaf blower. And had his jacket all flowing and shit. Oh my god. That act is so good.
I'm so happy that they're doing this together. It was really fun. The match was really fun too. Obviously, MXM Collection and John TV did not win this match, but as John TV and MXM do, they showed out. Private Party also looked great in this match. Mystico is Mystico. You know he's gonna look great whatever he does.
Yep.
Yeah. Private Party and Mystico won the match, and that was really it. We can move on from that. Another match that happened was a very quick one between Layla Gray and Mina Shirakawa. Mina won that one. I don't think there's any shock there. Mina's literally setting up to get ready to wrestle Mariah May on Winter's Coming in 2 weeks. We got that announced. So we knew that you're up against someone in Top Flight. You're most likely going to win. Like, that's just how it is right now. Another match that we had was the Outrunners versus the Iron Savages. Very quick match. Iron Savages came out. They talked their talk. Outrunners did outrunner things, and they won the match. Like, we knew that was going to happen. After the fact, FCR came out, which I can just say this now. I know this is leading up to something, but them coming out with each other after every win is getting a little ridiculous. I'm not going to lie. But they were out there to hype up the Outrunners. They did their pose. They all hung out, and that was great. Another match that we had, because again, Collision was full of matches, is Hangman Adam Page versus Wheeler Yuta. We talked. Yep. I think we talked a little bit about that, or was that before the podcast?
No, we talked about it in the last segment.
Yeah, we talked
just
about
a little bit though. A little bit though.
I don't have to talk about it too much. Hangman did win this match. It was a little bit back and forth. Wheeler Yuta tried. He definitely couldn't. There were points where Wheeler Yuta was trying to attack Hangman's bat leg. Didn't matter. Didn't really work. After the fact, again, we talked about it a little bit. Hangman was about to break Wheeler Yuta's neck. The Death Riders had come out and they were standing on the steps, like outside in the crowd. Hangman's about to break Wheeler Yuta's neck. He's looking at Death Riders, and Death Riders like, "Go ahead, it's fine. I don't care. Go ahead and do it." So he's about to. Jay White comes out and saves him, and then Jay White hits the Blade Runner on Wheeler Yuta. Also looks up at the Death Riders, and they're just kind of sitting there laughing, and they leave.
Yeah. Wheeler Yuta's a running joke for the Death Riders. So
poor guy.
He's just getting killed by everybody.
He's getting his ass beat by literally everyone.
Yeah.
During Collision, we also had the segment with Willow Nightingale, where we talked about earlier, where she is in the International Women Grand Prix. So, you know, we will see that. We talked about that earlier. There were a couple little segments here and there. Realistically, there was a lot of wrestling in the show, though.
Yeah.
Like we got like a Thunder Rosa thing for her match with Harley Graham. We had a lot of things, but this was Collision. You have anything on that before we move on to Rampage really quick?
Yeah, Collision was great. I do like that promo Thunder Rosa cut though, because she was like, you know what? I'm a little hungry right now. I want to get back in that title picture, which Thunder Rosa needs to be in the title picture. I don't care. Like anybody says, Thunder Rosa is that good. She should be in the title picture. But yeah, I'm curious to see how she gets in there.
She said she was going to be watching the match between Mina and Mariah. So,
yeah,
you know, we can, it's safe to say that whoever wins between Mina and Mariah will be facing Thunder Rosa at the pay-per-view, most likely.
More likely, yeah.
But that's all for that. That was basically the main story beats that we had, because Rampage was a Lucha Libre Rampage.
Yes.
Where we had a bunch of stars from CMLL show up, and they were kind of doing their thing. There is a match in here that is a must-watch for people who have not watched Rampage this week, because it did happen after Collision. We had a little 3-hour block of AEW on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
But we will get to that last. First, we got to talk about Thunder Rosa versus Harley Graham. Now, I didn't know who Harley Graham was. Like, I don't watch the MLL, so I'm not really used to seeing like Harley Graham. You know, I don't know who that is.
Right.
We did find out though that when she took off the mask, it was Harley Cameron, which was crazy. I did not A shock to me.
That was the mystery the whole time. Who knew? Who knew?
And then she put on the mask again, and then she took the mask off again, and then Ian Riccaboni was like, Harley Cameron?
Yeah.
And I think it was Excalibur who was like, yeah, you know, you'd be surprised so many times. Like, you already done it. Either way, Thunder Rosa did win this match. Harley Cameron looked good in this match, as she always does. Thunder Rosa was going to win. She is going to be wrestling whoever is the AEW Women's World Champion at World's End, most likely. Easy match for her to win.
Mm-hmm.
The next match, we had Action Andretti and Top Flight versus Atlantis Jr., Mascara Dorada, and Katsuyori Shibata. So they did a little bit of explanation for this one. They're like, oh, why is Shibata wrestling with CMLL stars? And they talked about Fantastica Mania, which is surprising to me because they've been promoting New Japan stuff a lot more lately, which has been really nice.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they talk about Fantastica Mania, and if you don't know what that is a tour that New Japan and CMLL do every year in Japan, where the wrestlers of CMLL go over to New Japan for like 2 weeks. They're in Japan, they do a little tour, they have a good time. Everyone pretends to have on masks and stuff like that. It's a fun time. If you haven't watched it, it's a really fun tour. It's a fun 2 weeks, fun to watch. Plus, they do have a couple CMLL world title matches also over there sometimes. It's good watch. This match was also a good watch. We can say that the winners were not Action Andretti and Top Flight.
You don't say.
Nah.
It's like having the premier athletes up there.
At this point, oh, that's sad. But it's true. It's true, but it's sad.
Am I lying?
No, it's sad. It's just sad. The match was good. We got to see a lot of Action Andretti being a little more aggressive because we haven't got to see Action Andretti since he got his ass beat by Jack Perry a couple weeks ago on Collision.
Mm-hmm.
So it was good to see him still being aggressive. Top Flight is acting like Top Flight still. The only one who's actually like invested in the story right now is Action Andretti, which is funny because now Action Andretti also showed out in the match. He was one of the best parts of this match. Either way, doesn't matter. They lost. Then after that, we had Beast Mortos, who decided to wrestle twice versus Sir Pentaco. We talked a little bit about that. Mortos won. For some reason, he wrestled twice. I don't know why. Literally, whatever.
They should have just wait. I don't think that's the CMLL name. I think that's his AAA name. He's just gonna. I was gonna say he should have just came out as Black Taurus.
Oh yeah, the one he was using in he used it in TNA also.
Yeah,
I
think that's AAA.
They could have. Yeah, I think he brought that from AAA. And when he was wrestling in TNA, he was also using that name, and they changed it for AEW.
Because of Cody, you know.
Yeah, Conan. Asshole Conan. But we go on to the main event, which is if you haven't watched Rampage, y'all should watch this match. This match is really good. We had Commander versus Hechicero.
Ooh.
I can't explain the match because this match had a lot going on in it. Watch this match. If you have watched all the Continental Classic stuff, or if you only have time to watch one match and for whatever reason you don't like tournament wrestling, watch Hechicero versus Commander. The match was really good. Hechicero did win this match. Not surprising. Hechicero was able to stand tall at the end. I would like to see more CMLL people whenever they have a chance. I know they do their own tours. They do their own thing. It would be nice to... I need to figure out how to watch CMLL, actually. I do want to watch some shows. Like, I know some are pay-per-view, but I got to figure that out.
Yeah. I'm surprised they don't have anything on YouTube or anything.
Yeah, same, right? I thought they would. But nope. You got to get the pay-per-views. And they all seem like they're like worth it. I haven't heard of a bad CMLL event, at least in like the last few years. So might be worth it to check it out.
AAA ones, but yeah,
bad AAA ones are natural. That just is AAA at this point.
Yeah.
But that's it, man. That's AEW for the week. Do you have any thoughts about the shows overall or anything?
Overall, it this week was good. It was a lot of wrestling, a lot of good wrestling this week. Especially with the it's tournament season, so all the tournament style matches were fantastic, and just like everything this week was, AEW was on point. So it was fun to watch. It was, if I were to say like just one thing, all the shows are fun. All of them had some good stuff. And yeah, if you have the time to watch all the shows, watch them. They're definitely worth it.
Yeah, fully agreed. It was a good time. Like I never got, I never felt at any point of the show or any of these shows where I was like, why are we doing this? Like everything felt like really fun to watch.
Yeah, I agree.
But that's it. That's it, y'all. Before we get into sending us home in one of our shortest episodes of all time, because it's that season. If you like the format that we did here, let us know.
Yeah.
The plan is, I think we would like to, or I would like to do the tournament stuff at the beginning and then talk about the story stuff at the end. If you guys like that, let us know. If not, we can go back to the other format. But just let us know what you guys think.
Yeah, I think it's fun because like I think that the main stuff that's going to be like for the next month is the Continental Classic. So I feel like that's a good way to do it.
I agree. It was fun. But with that, Profit, it's that time.
Oh, it is that time. All right, guys, if you made it this far, thank you. We really appreciate it. If you haven't already, tap that like button, and that it really helps us out more than you know. It gets the algorithm to tell people, hey, watch this show because it's great. And also subscribe so you can get all of our content whenever it comes out. If you liked this episode, linked in the description is going to be our previous episode where we talk about Full Gear. So yeah, if you like this episode, go to that one. Check that one out. That's a fun episode. And if you also just want to get yourself into the mood of the C2 Continental Classic, I will also have that link for that in the description. Check that episode out because that'll get you caught up, get you in the mindset of what the C2 is and why we're so excited about the Continental Classic. So once again, thank you guys for listening, and you know what I'm about to say. We're out.